Is this frequency occupied? Anyone using it?
Is that Charlie?
Yep, Jim, I've got you. Boy, we've had a lot of trouble trying to load this rig up.
One of us has had a lot of problems loading this rig up.
Well, yes. I've got KP1IZU in the shack here. He's only here briefly, but I can run the test with you there, Jim, if you copy. You're not too strong, but we barely made it on the air. We couldn't get this thing to work.
One of us couldn't get this thing to work.
Well, yeah. I'm sure you heard Jim. KB, yes, KB9VKV, K1GZL. You copy? My voice is rough. I hope you'll forgive me.
That's all right, Charlie. I'm stuck in a queue of one on Milford. So that's exactly why I have developed this Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver system just to avoid getting stuck in a queue on Milford. So I have, just out of curiosity, I wanted to start up in Montreal, Canada. I've got Montreal loaded up right now to check and see what you're sounding like up in Montreal. Roger?
Okay. Where's my logbook? No, that's the old logbook. There's no one. That's okay, wait a minute. I'm losing everything here. Where's this go then? I've got so much junk here, Dave. Jim, you have no idea. Montreal, that's too close. I will skip over most of the time myself. That's only 108 air miles away. Is Montreal. Air mile is 108 air miles away. KP9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie, that was too close. So I went to Ottawa, and I had a pretty good copy on you in Ottawa. So now I'm going to Prince Edward Island and see what we got there. Let me pull that up. All right. Come back to me now.
K1G. No, that's off the back of the quad. That's off the back of my quad. The back of my quad. Go ahead.
Roger, yeah, I had no copy on you there. So let's go on down to, let's see, I'm going to skip through Florida. I'm going to go to, come on here. I'm going to go to Maryland, Fair Hill, Maryland, and we'll just see what we got there. Let me bring it up, and there we go. And come back and let me listen to you. Yeah, Charlie, where'd you go there, bud?
234, copying in Maryland, near Washington, D.C., KP9VKV.
Roger, Charlie, I've got you there just about as good as I copy you in New York. So let me move on down here, and we'll try, let's see, let's see here, Frostburg, Maryland. Frostburg, Maryland. We'll check that out, if you will. Come on back to me now.
Come on back to me now.
Okay. Oh, down in Maryland. It might be out in western Maryland. That might be pretty good. That might be pretty. Go ahead.
Still not as good as New York. So let me move along here and see what we got. Let's see here. I got to get a new stylus. My stylus is not doing very well. Of all the things to not work is your stylus is. All right, let's see here. Well, I don't want to do that. Hang on just a minute. I got to get a better stylus. It seems to hang up there from time to time. All right, just out of curiosity, I want to try my Kentucky, Northern Kentucky SDR and see the difference between how I copy them and copy you, Roger.
Copy you, Roger.
Okay, I've got the wrong pen here. It's not writing. Shoot, that's not working. My God. Wait a minute, Jim. I've got a problem here. I can't, nothing to write with. Can you wait 1 minute? I've got to go in and get another pen. Go ahead.
Roger that. No problem. Go ahead now. Just hang out here. This is KC9VKV testing. We're testing our Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver system and running through some SDRs. We have 60 on our Hocus Pocus system. We have 60 SDRs that we can line up on really pretty quick. But right at the moment, my SDR stylus is not working real great. Of all things, let me just see if that's there. Roger, I copy myself pretty good.
Sure, I copy myself pretty good.
And I don't know if Charlie's back yet or not. This is KC9VKV. Charlie, I'm still in the queue of 1 on my SDR of Milford. Now I'm in a queue of 2. I should be number 1. But it says you are 2 of a queue of 2. I'm not getting any better. I don't understand. Anyway, back to you, Charlie.
Gotten another pen. Let me see if it works. I bought. Yeah, it is working. It is working. Okay. So I've got my. I've got it working there. So. I'm all set up here. Go ahead, Jim. K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, let's see. Let's check out Maine. Let's check out Maine and see how you're doing in Maine. Go ahead, Charlie.
Unless you're going to northern Maine, then you're off the back corner of the quad. I don't think you're going to get good copy in Maine.
You're exactly right. Now, what state would you think that I might do well? Well, Pennsylvania, of course. Let me try an alternative to Milford. Hang on. Going to Pennsylvania. And then these are all alphabetical, so I should be able to get to Pennsylvania. I'm going to try Pittsburgh, and see how Pittsburgh does. Right, here we go. And come back to me, Charlie.
Be good. Pittsburgh should be good. That's good. That is, if that repeater is good, Pittsburgh should be excellent. So go ahead.
Well, you would think so, but not too well. New York is still the best, second to Milford. So let me try the other PA SDR, which is. Oh, hey, I got into Milford now. I'm into Milford. Let me hear what you sound like in Milford, Roger.
Okay, I think you're hitting me good in Milford. The only problem is you have to wait for that thing. If everybody's trying to use it at once, that's not going to help you at all. How about Arlington? Virginia? Go ahead.
Oh boy, Milford sounds so good. It sounds so good. Let's see here. Let's go down to Virginia. Let me try one other thing. I want to try Vermont. Let me try Vermont. We'll see what you sound like over in Vermont. All right, come on back and let me hear you.
Unless it's ground wave. Vermont is too close. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bob's leaving. Vermont, I would skip over. Go ahead.
Oh, Vermont sounds pretty good. It's a little on the bottom heavy side, but the signal strength is very good in Vermont.
Yeah, but that's only temporary. Once we get into the fall, we cannot use Vermont at all. If it's within ground wave, it might work if you're within 20 miles, but most likely it's in western Vermont, southern or central Vermont, and I would skip over 99% of the time. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. All right, let me move on down here. Come on, stylus. And we did Maine, and we did Maryland, and let's try Michigan out of curiosity. Thurston, Michigan. We'll see what you sound like there, Roger.
Around Detroit, it might be okay. Around Detroit, but if you're getting into western Michigan during our scheduled time, it would be too early. Be a little bit too early into western Michigan. You might try your own house, your own place. See what I sound like in southern Indiana.
Got no copy locally. Got a pretty good signal in Thurston, Michigan. Better than New York. Roger. Okay, where's that in Michigan? Must be near Detroit. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I just, I programmed this thing from my USA map for SDRs, and gosh, it's such a terrible thing to deal with. You got to, expand the USA to find the little flags for the SDRs, and then it moves off as you zoom around. And but anyway, I've got about 20 SDRs in there, and each one of those has about 3 connections per state. So I'm running about 60 SDRs in my list, Roger.
Well, that's interesting. 60 SDRs. Well, that Michigan one is a possibility if it will be considered. If it's there all the time. If it's there in the western part of New York State, like Buffalo, Jamestown, Buffalo, even Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Toronto, Ontario, Canada would work very, very well. Go ahead.
Roger. I was looking at it on Ottawa, and you sounded pretty good there. Let me go back to Ottawa and see what you sound like. Come on back.
Yeah, that's only 200 miles. That's only 200 miles. Once we get into the fall and the skip gets longer, Ottawa will be too close. Ottawa far too close.
Roger, yeah. And it's not as good as New York either. So let me go on down here. And come up on, just out of curiosity, now, well, I was going to say Georgia, just as a curiosity, but I think maybe let me try New Jersey. We'll see what we got in New Jersey out of curiosity. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, I wonder what part of New Jersey. Yeah, it should be okay. Yeah, side of the antenna off the side, and that is pretty fairly close. Fairly close. It would be here. It'd be better if you were out in the western half of Pennsylvania, even central Pennsylvania, down. Well, it would be getting into Atlanta right now. Not extremely strong, but into Atlanta. K1GZL. Go ahead.
Roger. I got New Jersey turns out to be better than New York, and almost as good as Milford. So let me go on down here. Trying to use the wrong end of the stylus. That doesn't work too well. Let's see here. Going on down here. Let's see. And we did New Jersey, and that was central New Jersey. Central New Jersey is where that was. That was really good. And let's do Highland Falls, New York, and see how that goes. Okay, and go ahead.
Okay, Roger on central New Jersey. By the way, just for the heck of it, Jersey, I'm going to play a little bit of this OSY, and let me know if this sounds okay to you. And I can use this Friday. I can use it Friday. Wait a minute. Let's see.
I don't have the technology to record you, but believe me, your signal is very, very clear as well. Over. To FTDX1, 400 watts into a 5-element tri-band, meaning sort of halfway long past Europe, halfway short past the USA. Over. VK3OZY. No, our winter was very mild. We're still in winter at the moment, but it's been a very mild winter. But we got cheated out of our summer. We had a very mild summer as well. So they're sort of saying that this summer coming up is going to be very, very hot. Over.
Okay, how was that, Jim? Go ahead.
Oh, excellent through Milford. I went to Milford for that piece, and it was really, really good. Let's see. Let's try Dayton, Ohio. We'll see how Dayton, Ohio sounds. Come on back to me.
Okay, that would be slightly down. Time of day. But Dayton, at the time of Ohio, I'm pointed right at actually. I'm almost pointed right at you. With this quad. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dayton wasn't very good, so past that. Let's see here. Let's see here. let's try North Carolina out of curiosity. We'll see how that does. And go ahead.
Okay. Way off the side of the you're in extreme western North Carolina, then you're still off the side, but not as bad. But if you're in eastern North Carolina, it might be marginal. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was in Boone, North Carolina, and it was not as good as even New York. So let's see here. Let's try Westerville, Ohio. Westerville, Ohio. See how that does. Go ahead.
See how that does.
By the way, you're up to 9 to 9 plus 5. Direct. And right in the, pretty well in the clear. K1GZL. Let me see if I've got you on here. Wait a minute.
Westerville, Ohio.
Okay, Ohio.
Still not as good as New York, but to come back and let me listen to that one more time. Give me some chatter here, copying you on Westerville, Ohio.
My voice is a little low, and I don't have any water to drink in here. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, gosh, we can take a break, and you can get some water there if you need to do that, Roger.
No, it'd take me a minute to get the water in here. So make a transmission. It'll take me about 1 minute. Go ahead, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Not a problem, sir. I'll just line up some more SDRs here, and we'll go through them. Still, it's amazing how we judged the right one pretty much off the bat. But anyway, this is KC9VKV testing.
Okay, we're back with water. Let me have a couple sips here. Wait a minute. Good. KV, K1GZL.
Roger, trying up around Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Did not have a good copy there. So let me try one of the other SDRs around Pennsylvania. Oh gosh, my stylus keeps hitting the wrong thing. Hopefully this would be a little bit easier. I got to get a better stylus is what it is. Okay, so Pennsylvania. Let's try Springbrook, Pennsylvania. We'll see what Springbrook, Pennsylvania does. Coming up now, and go ahead, Charlie.
I'll transmit lowest, although I'm talking to you lowest, but there is a little splatter. 86, 186. But I hope it's not bothering me. It's not K1GZL.
Roger, well, Milford still has it. Let me try something else here. Maybe I can get into Virginia See what I've got in Virginia. Taking a look here. Well, as long as I'm in Pennsylvania, let me try Uniontown, Pennsylvania. No, I can't get in there. I can't get in there. Okay. So we'll bypass that. That had a queue, a standing queue. I don't know how many, but it did have quite a few folks waiting in line, so I got to move along here. I wanted to try Virginia. Gosh, I keep getting false connections here. Let's try Richmond, Virginia. We'll see how that does. This is KC9VKV listening.
This is KC9VKV listening.
Okay. Richmond, Virginia is considerably off the quad, off the side of the quad. Although it might work, you never know. It might work. Maybe the right distance, but may not be that great. The best spots are, say, from Toronto, Canada, not Ottawa. It's too close. Ottawa's 208 air miles. That's it. Montreal is, wait a minute. Montreal is 108 air miles. Quebec City is 108 miles, but directly north. That's no good. But if you can use Toronto or Windsor, Ontario, or Lower Ontario, those are all good, or should be. And Richmond, Virginia, borderline, it would work, but it's a bit noisy because I'm not that strong there. But eastern Ohio around Cleveland would be very good. Southeastern Michigan around Detroit, that would be good also, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL, drinking water.
Roger. I'm checking Milwaukee. I need to ask you what your pattern is, but let me go ahead and check Milwaukee while I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, well that's a little far for your afternoon. It would be great in the evening, but it would be a little early. This is K1G. In my path, this is K1GZL. If you draw a line from here just into central Ohio, just south of Cleveland, into central Ohio, down to Dayton, Ohio, and right down to you. You're directly in front of the quad, and then from there, right down into central Texas, a little east of Pacific, a little east of New Zealand. Go ahead.
Roger. So you said you were south of Cleveland. Was that a Roger?
Yeah, but pretty well on Cleveland. Pretty well. Let me look at the map here. Very close to Cleveland, maybe 30 miles. But you get 30 miles from the center, you're not going to see any change. That's close. Very close to Cleveland. Detroit, Michigan would be very, very good. And especially the western half of Pennsylvania should be solid. The western half of Pennsylvania down into northern West Virginia, not southern West Virginia too much, but northern West Virginia, and down Little Rock, Arkansas would work. Extreme northwest Tennessee around Memphis would work. keep it within about 600 miles during your scheduled time, within about 600 or 700 miles. If you go too much beyond that, signal may not be quite as strong. Go ahead.
Okay, so your radiation max is from up where you are in New Hampshire to just south of Cleveland. That would be the main lobe, Roger, main front of the lobe, Roger.
Roger, main front of the lobe, Roger.
Roger on that. That would be the main lobe. Absolutely would be the main lobe. Would be what I just mentioned, just south of Cleveland, right over central Ohio, Columbus, right over Columbus, Ohio, then Dayton, Ohio, would certainly be dead center in front of this thing, and then Louisville, Kentucky, which is you, Louisville, Kentucky, and then on down into Austin, Texas, San Antonio. Go ahead.
Roger. So, okay, I've got that. Now I'll reprogram some of these and look for that lobe that way. Let me just do one thing here. Okay, and come back and let me hear you at this new location, Roger.
Okay. Roger. In communication with KC9 Victor. How was that, Jim?
I didn't copy that last one very well, so I went back to Milford. I need to get what would be some place, say in Virginia. What would be some locations in Virginia?
What would be some locations in Virginia?
Well, Virginia itself, let me look at the map. The southwest part of Virginia would be a little better. The southwest part of Virginia, western Virginia, along that highway, whatever it is, it goes northeast to southwest, but not 95, no. You get down around Norfolk, Virginia, southeast Virginia, you're now getting off the side considerably. But if you get out into very western Virginia, along the Appalachians, Roanoke, Lynchburg, Roanoke, it's not too bad. Not.
Roger, Charlie. I did have a couple of Virginia SDRs in there, but you know they weren't in locations that were conducive to your pattern, Roger.
Conducive to your pattern, Roger.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. We have to live with this sort of thing. Eastern Ohio is good. Western Pennsylvania is good. Ontario, Canada, west of, west and southwest of Ottawa, you got to say it right, Ottawa, as you get down into western Ontario, anywhere from Toronto would be very, very good. Go ahead.
Roger. So far, New York is a good backup to Milford. I haven't found anything quite as good as that, but like I say, I will have to reprogram my Hocus Pocus SDR receiver and try to get more in your trajectory if I can. I'm just looking here real quick to see if there's anything else. Maine, we've tried that one. Michigan was, and New Jersey was pretty good. Let me go. Oops, shoot. Let me go back to New Jersey and check that again. Hang on just a minute. Go back to New Jersey. New York and New Jersey seems to be doing pretty good. I don't exactly know why, but you know that that signal out of New York catches your signal really well. So this is New Jersey. Go ahead.
So this is
way down on that. Yeah, your signal dropped way down on way down. It's just propagation. You did drop down there direct. Drop SDR at all up here. By the way, the sun is out right now, but it's very hazy, and we may get a fair amount of rain tomorrow. We may get a fair amount of tomorrow, and get a fair amount of rain tomorrow. So down down under, like Australia and New Zealand, there you be, mates. Yeah, we have to be there. Just keep searching around. You may find something super KC9, but as long as it's not too close. You get too close. Once we get another month or so and the skip lengthens out, we're going to skip out. Remember that. And then in that case, you would be stronger direct. You would be stronger direct. You would be stronger direct. Once we get into the early ZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I found this other New York location. Hang on just a minute. Let me get this back on frequency here. Okay. There we go. I found a second New York location that's better than my original New York. Roger.
Roger, where is it?
Let me see here. I've got to take this one down. Come on, stylus. All right. Going to New York now. It's in Highland Falls, New York. Highland Falls, New York. Roger.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of it. Does it show you where that is in New York? Go ahead.
No. I've just got it listed as Highland Falls. Let me go back to it. It sounds better than the other New York, Roger.
Southern New York?
I don't know. I'm not real sure, Roger. I've just got Highland Falls, I think, the way I have it noted.
Yeah, I don't have any maps here that would pinpoint it. I have no idea, but if how good is that? How good is that one? Go ahead. How good is it?
Well, I'm just tweaking back and forth, and that one is a little noisier, just a tad, maybe 3 dB less hot than our original New York at the moment. Now those, have a tendency to bounce back and forth. When one's hot, the other's down, and in the next 2 minutes it's changed, and the other one's hotter. Roger.
It's changed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the band. That's propagation. That's the band. That's propagation. That is just the band. So can you actually, even though it's not good as an SDR, are you actually picking me up at your place direct? You should be.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's the 7300 into my no SWR resonant dipole antenna. Roger.
Okay, Roger. Okay, because it should be open. Maybe not too strong, but it should be to some degree. Probably in an hour. Well, I'll be on tonight at about 20 after 8, 8:30, 20 after 8, 8:30 Eastern, around 71, 45 to 71, 65, wherever there's a hole. And if Jim is on there, WA3FET, he gets a tremendous amount of pileups. So I don't get a transit too long. I did call him on the phone when Bob was here, KB1IZU, but I just got a voice message, and we couldn't get things to work. We could not get things going here, but for some reason or other, and then I found I was on Vox. I hit the Vox machine, it didn't help. I hit the Vox machine, and it did help. So he had the magic touch, I guess. Now, I had a little bit of a problem here the last couple of nights that developed when I would been on for a short time. The 7300, this is K1GZL transmitting, the 7300 would go completely dead, absolutely blacked out, and then it would come right back. It would come right back. That happened a few times. Then it would straighten out the rest of the year. Jim, I don't know, all you Jim. But anyway, what happened? Jim said, well, it should take that control into the 7300, pull it out, put it back several times, but I didn't want to mess it all up, so Bob happened to stop by here, and he did that, but then we found things were not working right. The audio was spitting on and off, and we couldn't get the lookings on the screen here. So we played around and got things working. It's looking a little different than it should on the screen, but it's working, so I'm not too concerned. But it's nice to have the power out. I'm reading 1200 watts, whereas it's only getting 700 to 800 watts linear before. Because the reason was I was not getting enough drive. I got messing around right after my schedule with you last Friday. Around, and suddenly the darn thing worked. Working. So, boy, that was a long transmission. KC9VKV, K1GZL. There goes my voice.
Roger, Charlie, that was a perfect transmission. I had a chance to go through quite a few of those SDRs and check them out. At least we do have a backup there. We still have our New York backup, and I will concentrate more in the New Jersey, New York area, because those do well, and I'll see what I can do as far as something around the Milford area, in case, since Milford does so well, maybe I can catch something else there. Can you think of, and I'll take this line from your location in New Hampshire down to southeast of Cleveland, and I'll see what's in that trajectory on down the road from there, Roger?
And I'll see what's in that trajectory.
Yeah, That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Jim, because that is a lobe. That is a major lobe. Yeah, even Buffalo, New York is very good. Buffalo, New York, Niagara Falls would work. And right down the line through southeastern Michigan should work, especially in another month or so as the sun sets earlier and earlier. The skip will get longer and longer, and it might be better. You know, eventually it'll open up pretty well out into your direct area at your house. It should be very, very good. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, you know, you would think so, but it seems like, we're following two different troughs. You're in one trough, and I'm in another. If we were in the same trough, I would have as good a copy on you as you do on me, at least. Let me try that Wisconsin one more time here, if I can, and we'll see what's going on there one more time. I think we tried that, but come on back and let me hear you.
I think we tried that, but come on back and let me hear you.
Okay, you went up to 9, direct. If you say in central Pennsylvania, you would be probably 15 over 9. But I'm too yet far away yet. But as we get into early evening, your area really opens up. There. Anyway, K1GZL 1234. Yeah, I'm glad I made a longer transmission before. That gives you a chance to switch back and forth. Now, Wisconsin this time during the daytime is too weak. It's too far away. It would get there probably, but it's too far away. And wow, it's just if you were on 20 meters. If you were on 20 meters, you'd be a time. Boy, would you come in the daytime. 20 on 20. I am west of you. I mean north of you. I go right over Chicago, but right over Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know how they say it out. And you know how they say it. And then Nebraska, and then down into Diego, Los Angeles, California. That is my line of fire on 20 meters. Would in fact I would say right now to your house, even though I'm north of you on 20. It would work. But I have the second antenna on 20, and that's firing directly south, and that probably would be a little bit weaker. You'd be between the two antennas, but favoring more of the westerly one. But the element, the inverted V, firing at 180 degrees. In other words, about 10 degrees west of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Go ahead.
Roger. I just went to New Jersey, and you're fairly hot in New Jersey, but a little bit hotter in New Jersey than you are in New York, Roger.
Okay, so I'm hotter in New Jersey than I am in Rochester, right?
That's a Roger.
Could be the way the SDRs are set up in these places. Gosh knows where they are. If you've got the one in Rochester, may not be pointed at me at all. And the one in Milford might be a little better. Plus, that's closer. That's closer. Then again, if it's backed up, and if it's backed up for 5 people who can use the thing, that doesn't work at all for you when you're trying to run a schedule on the spot.
Roger. Well, at least I've got a couple of backups now. I've got New York, another New York, and I've got New Jersey. So at least we've got some alternatives to Milford, Roger.
Okay, right now, might work fine on Milford, but how consistent can you count on it? How consistent? People get out of school, then they get out of work, and they want to use those repeaters, and if it's a backup on that, you're in a bad way.
Hey, that was 100% right there. Yeah, I will follow your trajectory and try to look for more SDR options in that lobe, and maybe we can try again tomorrow. Roger, Roger. I will have a diabetic nurse here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, but then again, if it doesn't work at 3, I could try it at 4. Go ahead. Yeah, just like today, same schedule. We'll go for 3, and if need to be, we'll slide back to 4. Roger, Roger.
Need to be, we'll slide back to 4. Roger, Roger.
Okay, it all depends what's going to happen, or if anything breaks down at my end and I'm off the air. Boy, I was scared at 3:30. Half an hour before this schedule, we couldn't get this thing to work at all. Go ahead.
Roger, the 7300, is that what you're talking about?
Roger, the 7300, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the 7300. We could not get it to work. It would not work. Boy, I had to give it a good talking to, and with a lot of cut, try. I'm talking to you, luckily.
Roger. Well, sometimes you just have to use a bigger sledgehammer.
Roger. Well, sometimes you just have to use a bigger sledgehammer.
Oh, yeah. Also a number of hatchets, too.
Roger, Roger. Well, you just keep working till you find out how much pressure it takes for that radio to cry uncle and start working right. It'll give you as much trouble as it can, and until you persuade it to cooperate. That's the whole thing. Just let it understand that there is a hole that it can be buried in if it doesn't straighten itself up. Roger.
Hole that it can be buried in if it doesn't straighten itself up. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, you're doing very well. You're running an 8 to 9 right now. Direct skip from southern Indiana into northern New Hampshire. There we go. Wait a minute.
The whole thing, just let it understand that there is a hole that it can be buried in if it doesn't straighten itself up. Roger.
Okay, again. You overrode that considerably. Okay, if you can, well, think of anything else. We'll try it tomorrow. Don't forget, if I can't get on at 3, it's because the nurse is here. Checking my diabetes and my pills, and see if I'm getting any water retention under the skin. The swelling. Although the one I had yesterday said it looked better. Today I had no nurses today, but tomorrow I've got to get some refill on some pills. So I will be on this evening, probably about 8:25, 8:30, down about 71, anywhere from down to 47, depending where there's any openings. It's a bad fact. A long time. It took me a find the fellows I was talking to. Was just packed. Absolutely everybody in his square. Okay, Jim, if you don't have any more now, we'll sign, as I've got a couple of things I've got to take care of. KC9VKV, K1GZL with the sun shining, but not that bright, and it's hazy, and there are clouds out there, but the sun is trying to shine through. But tomorrow could be stormy. If there's a thunderstorm, it may knock me off the air. Go ahead, Jim.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I think we've had a good test today, and I will take your lobe and look at it on a map and see what's what as far as trying to come up with some other stations. You think about 400 to 600 miles would be a good range?
I think about 400 to 600 miles would be a good range. Yes.
400 to, this is K1GZL. You know, I give my call so often, I can't remember when I give my call. I don't know. I don't remember. When Jim gets a group on down below, and he gets so many in there, we lose track of the rotation, and then there's no rotation. People are interrupting and coming back and forth. They can't help it because a lot of people can't hear each other. Has its whole setup favors Europe very well. I favor Australia, New Zealand on 20 meters, especially Australia, and on 40 I'm better from New Zealand, south and east. I never have been aimed at Australia on 40 meters ever. I have never had an antenna in Australia on my quad at all, but for some crazy reason, it's just this location down slope and wet clay that makes the difference. I've had Ian, of course, he had two quads, one over the other. I think the top one was 130 feet. He could copy me on 0.4 of a watt, absolutely Q5, no problems whatsoever, and even much lower than that, and yet I've gotten into a dipole on meters that copies me very well on 410. But that's but that's when the band is good. When the band is good, you can get away with. You see, the thing is, a few years ago, the maximum usable frequency was not too good on 20. 20 was borderline on the short path, especially. It was terrible. Whereas the 40-meter band in the early morning was hotter than a pistol. Even very low power 5 waters would be very good. Sunspot cycle. This is K1 sunspot getting. This is K1GZL getting into the sunspot cycle. We got further into it. 40 started to take a bit of a backseat, and 20 meters came into its own. As an example, I was well past the gray line. The sun had set. The sun had come up well before I had worked that fellow VK30SY, which I have on the tape, which I might use on Friday. I might use that one if you get good. Okay, Jim, I'll let you go. And I think I have got to make a pit stop here at the moment. Hi, KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I've got some notes, and I've got your angle of the dangle here, so I will take that into consideration and look for some more SDR in the blow-by of your signal there, and maybe we can come up with even more options than what we have. So let me say 73 is up that way, and I'll see you tomorrow at 3 if we can, or 4, Roger.
Oh, at 3 if we can, or 4, Roger.
Roger, yeah, you might have a group on here, you never know. Something about the parks or some other type of thing, or some other, and was celebrating some kind of race car thing or whatever, and if that's the case, we'll have to do the 4, but we'll try it anyway. So in the meantime, you might check and see what you have available, Jim, over at your end. Wait a minute. Here you are.
Persuaded to cooperate. That's the whole thing. Just let it understand that there is that it can be buried in if it doesn't straighten itself up, Roger. To pull it up on this thing.
I didn't get that too well. Okay, Jim, 73, and we'll see you tomorrow. K1GZL is signing clear.
Roger, Charlie, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend, and we'll catch you tomorrow to continue our test of the Hocus Pocus Internet SDR retrieval system. 73, this is KC9VKV, clear.
73, this is KC9VKV, clear.
K8IK. Okay, 73, Jim, K1GZL, QRT.
Roger, there's another station, go ahead.
IK.
Go ahead, station.
Roger, there's another station, go ahead. Go ahead, station.
Kilo Delta 8 India Kilo. Have a copy there, Jim. Name's Larry.
Roger, Larry, yeah, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Roger, Larry, yeah, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Kilowatt Delta 8 India Kilowatt. Kilowatt Delta 8 India Kilowatt. And we're in West Virginia. Over, Jim.
Roger, Larry. Yeah, we've just been running through some SDRs. I have a new SDR receiver loaded up with about 50 Internet SDR receivers pre-programmed that I just go to favorites, hit it, and it comes up. I've already, well, I did have a problem. I looked at my history, and I decided to erase my history, and I didn't know that all the modifications that I've done to these frequencies that I've stored were captured in history. So I wiped out everything I've been doing for the last 2 days except for the actual SDR itself. So I had to go back through the list, and about 60 of the Internet SDR receivers that I had to reprogram, not the SDR itself, but the modifications to the receiver, the frequency and the LSB and stuff like that, Roger.
LSB and stuff like that, Roger.
Roger. Give me a call again. I got KC9, and then I missed the rest of it.
Roger, Kilo, Charlie, 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. KC9VKV, Roger. We're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're actually on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger.
Actually on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger.
Roger, Jim. Well, we're on the Ohio River
here in West Virginia, right on the Ohio River, Blennerhassett Island, is about 2 miles from me. So anyway, we have talked before. We did some radio setup there on your vlog sometime back, and this is another 7300 that I got about a month ago, and I've got a condenser microphone on it. It's one of the I don't know, Chinese knockoff 800. It's got a different GYU, I think is what's on this microphone. But anyway, got it on here, and just wondered how the audio sounded on it.
Sounds pretty good. We suggest first be sure that you're in that wide transmit bandpass mode 100 to 2900, Roger.
Transmit bandpass mode 100 to 2900, Roger.
Yeah, we're there. I always run it that way. And I think I got the mic gain set at about 40 on here. I got the compressor running about 3. And if I go in and look at, let me get out of here, go in and look at the transmit setup here. Let me controls, transmit, sideband, running about a -1 and about a +3 on treble.
Yes, sir. Check your ALC level. That would be the first thing before you would go to EQ. Check your ALC. The word is audio. You become a human test tone generator and adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running mid 2/3. Until your ALC is running 2/3. Roger.
2/3. Until your ALC is running 2/3. Roger.
And that's going to be with the compressor off, right?
No. Compressor on at 3. Roger.
No. Compressor on at 3. Roger.
Okay. I'll look here and see ALC. I'm a little bit higher than 2/3.
Yeah, pull your mic gain down just a tad to where you are at 2/3 on your ALC. You can go harder than that, but what happens is you start to run into distortion. So 2/3 is a nice fat level. It gives you a 3 dB dynamic range, which means that your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. So go ahead and set that, and you can hang on that for as long as you need to set that level, Roger.
Hang on a minute here. Okay, I gotta get this turned off here. Okay, that's, I just turned the compressor off, because without it, with it on, it was, the ALC was still holding. I dropped the mic gain down from 40 to 35, and we're operating in 2/3 scale on ALC, over.
Roger. Now, if you're just running a 3 on your compressor, it shouldn't make that much difference. We're just looking for a token amount, 1/3 of the capability of the compressor. So go ahead and turn that compressor back on and take another look at your ALC meter as you say the word audio, and let me know where it stands, Roger.
As you say the word audio, and let me know where it stands, Roger.
Audio. I'm seeing the ALC is going over to on the 7300. If I look at the scale slightly above it, well, the ALC's got a red line on the bottom, and when I go audio, it's pretty much full scale there. Audio, and I'm running at least 10 dB of compression, looks like.
Roger. Now, Larry, we don't want to stress that word. Just we say that word audio just as you would say any other word in the QSO. It's not really stressed. It's just audio, just like you would say any other word, right?
It's just audio, just like you would say any other word, right?
audio. Okay, that shows me about 5 dB of compression there.
Yeah, and so that should be good. You sound really, really good. Now, let's go back to EQ, if you will, and let's do a little number on the EQ, Roger.
And let's do a little number on the EQ.
Yeah, okay, let me get in there, and okay, we're in, what do you suggest? Currently running bass at -1 and treble at +3.
Okay, take your treble on up to 5, max out your treble, +5, and your bass, let's take one more off, and I think that would be a -3. So it'd be +5 treble, -3 bass, Roger?
3. So it'd be +5 treble, -3 bass, Roger?
Okay, there's -3 bass, +5 treble. Hello, check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Audio, KD8IK.
Oh, just beautiful. I think you'll love that. Why don't you tell me about 15 seconds and give me information on your antenna so I can get a good recording, Roger?
Information on your antenna so I can get a good recording, Roger?
Roger, Jim. Well, anyway, the call here is kilowatt Delta 8 India kilowatt. We're running a ICOM 7300 barefoot into a InFed with a 9-to-1 by Ballon Designs. The antenna length is just under 100 feet. That's the antenna. That's the antenna we're running on right now. So back over to you, Jim. KC9VKV from KD8IK.
Roger, Larry. And I went up to New York and New Jersey, and my local antenna, as you were speaking that last term, and you were sounding great. I do not have a real good copy of my local antenna, but you sounded good in New Jersey and New York, Roger.
My local antenna, but you sounded good in New Jersey and New York, Roger.
Roger. Okay, well, we'll give it a go. I appreciate the help on it. We're, you can get pretty close, but you can't tell by listening locally to it. Even in the monitor position makes it sometimes you've got some artifacts and whatnot that show up that don't show up there because of the point. So anyway, I appreciate your input on that, and we'll play with that and see how it plays out. So anyway, back over to you. KC9VKV from KD8IK.
Roger, Larry. And we'll have this uploaded to YouTube. Basically, this was a test of my my Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver system. So Charlie was assisting me there as we were going through some of those. I did not have a real good handle on his lobe, but now I do, so I can get some more. This thing's holding 50 SDRs now. They're pre-programmed. I can go to them in about 5 seconds. And so it's mainly Charlie, and you will be right there at the end, Roger.
So it's mainly Charlie, and you will be right there at the end, Roger.
Okay, well, we'll look for that, and I appreciate your time. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. I'm doing some other work with some computers here. We've got about 8 computers in here that I'm doing updates on right now. And I just kind of swing around a 360 as I'm working on them. So thanks for the help, and we'll look for you again. We hear you frequently. I think you're generally on every Friday, I believe, is your normal deal there. I think that's where I caught you last time. So anyway, your audio sounds great, and thanks again, Jim. KC9VKV, KD8IK.
Roger, Larry, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And with that, we got to get out of here. Since about an hour ago, we've been working on our radio, checking out our SDRs, and we want to thank Charley-K1GZL and also Larry, KD8IK, for joining us right at the end. 73 all. This is KC9VKV, returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV, clear.